We've seen just in the last 4 or 5 years a real shift in project management where we were traditionally predictive or linear, but we had that mindset of initiate, plan, execute, monitor, control, and close. And everything was predictive, and we tried to predict everything that was going to happen in the project. And then once we had that plan, once we had our scope statement and a work breakdown structure, we became very averse to change, because change would disrupt our plans. Well, we know that the fact of the matter is, when it comes to a predictive project, when it comes to predicting what's going to happen in the future, we're really guessing. Now, they might be educated guesses, it might be based on historical information or things that you've experienced in your career, but it's still a guess that you don't know exactly what's going to happen in the project. That's just one of the risks of project management. A lot of people miss this idea that a project itself is risk. We have the definition of risk that it is an uncertain event or condition that can bring about a positive or negative effect. Well, there is uncertainty when we start a project. So we don't know if we're going to be successful on day one. We anticipate that we are. We feel that we are based on some evidence. We believe we may be successful, but you and I know things go awry in projects that can affect our ability to get to that desired future state. So we've seen this shift in project management from that mindset, that traditional linear predictive approach, to more of an agile, an adaptive or hybrid approach, where we welcome change, we expect change, we come to grips with the idea that change is going to happen in a project. So transformative project management, we've seen this with not only how we do our project, but we've seen obviously with technical advancements where we expect that people may not be co-located, that people are working from home or remote, and that we are not having that face-to-face real-time. It is real time, but not that face-to-face like we would have in an office environment, in that traditional type setting. Workplace dynamics have certainly changed. We've seen this, right, with COVID and the idea of working from home. But we're seeing this also when it comes to culture of organizations and more of a attention given to things like DEI and getting people involved and inclusivity and really understanding the emotional aspect that happens in the workplace. Well, we've also seen on the other side of that more with artificial intelligence, with AI. So how can AI help us be a better project manager? And then what we need more of is the emotional intelligence of how are we self-aware and self-governing, and then how do we interact and understand the behavior, the emotions of others, what they bring into the project. So AI and EI are, I believe, are the two opposite ends of the spectrum. And if we try to leverage too much AI, we're going to lose that emotional intelligence, that human need, the human touch, if you will, of what we need in project management. We have to have a balance between the two. Even if we aren't using AI, there's so much that we need in emotional intelligence to help us be a more effective project manager.